So hello guys, welcome back to our channel. So today we are going to study about lists in Python. So basically what lists are? Lists are basically of non-primitive types. Like there are some basic types which we studied in the last lecture, like in the strings and variables. Those were the primitive data types. Now these are the non-primitive. So what are basically lists? Lists are basically used to store different types of data inside it. Like it could be boolean, string, or number or decimal. So all type of store all type of this data we want to store at a single place. Then we have to create a list. So how we can create a list? We have to just first give the name of the list. So my list name is ls, and then is equal to, and then we have to use square bracket. So now this is a list, and let me execute it. Shift plus enter, it will run the cell. Now it is an empty list. Now if we now check the type using the type keyword of the type of the ls. Now if we check the type, it shows that it is a list type. So type of ls is a list. Now it is our list. So it contains different types of values here. uh, Let me take a string here. Like I am taking a string. Then we have to use comma to separate the values. Then I am using 50, 45. Then I'm again using the comma to separate. This will, after each comma, it will consider the next value as a single value. So now if I take 34 1 33 comma true comma false. So now if we run it, it executed successfully. And if we check the type here, the type is list again. And if we want to print, we have to just call our list here and shift plus enter, and it will print the whole list for us. So it is indicating the string with the inverted commas, that it is string type, then it is doing show. So all the data inside the list is getting collected into a single variable, the name of the list, and is getting printed out here for us. So now see that how the list internally store this data. So it basically stores in the form of indexes. So let me take here, this is our list storage, and what it will do, it will store here. Like first it will store, so how many elements are in it? One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we have 5 memory blocks here, and let me add the text here. Like first it is saving my name. In second it is storing 45 for us. In third it is storing 34.33. In fourth it is storing true, and in fifth it is storing false. So basically, what is the numbering inside the list? So how does the list store number inside it? So first, this is our first index, so it will consider first index as 0. For second, it will consider this as first. Then for third, it will store as second. Our second index, this is our third index, and this is our fourth index. So basically, internally in this method, the values are getting stored here. Now, if I want to get the element at the zeroth index, so we how we can get the element for it? So we have to do nothing. We have just call the name of a list, and inside the list we have to call the index number here. And in the square brackets we have to just call the index number. So for this index number is, for this value index number is 0. So let me just pass here 0 here, and if I run it, we will get the first index value here. In the same manner, if we want to get the list index of other, like we have just called square brackets, and here we see the numbering that for 2 it is 34.5, and if I call here second index, index number second, so it will print this index value for us. So basically internally storing the indexes from 0 till n minus 1, and it is getting printed for us using the index number of the list. So let me call our list here, and here we want to select values till some specific index, like I want to start from here and I want to get values till true. So how we can do that? So earlier, yesterday we had seen this using this slicing concept of string. Same method we are going to apply here. Like we are going to start with a 0, then colon, and then n minus 1. Like this is our value, and minus 1, from it will print till this. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. So if I use 3 here as my index number, then it will print till n minus 1. Like this is our n, and minus 1 will generate the 2, and it will just print till this number for us. So let me execute it. So it is getting us the first three values from index 0 to 2, and it is excluding the third. So this is the same concept which we had seen in the string indexing concept. Now let me call our list here again. So I am calling my list and I am running it. Shift plus enter. So it displayed our output. Now I want that, and I want this index, zeroth index, and from this index I want this ni from this list, from this string. So how can I get that? So first we have to get the index here. So our string is at 0 index. So if I run it, we are getting first. So first step is our completed, that we had selected our string. Now if we check the type here, that what is the type here, so it will print us the type of this element in the string. So if I run it, it will print us that this is a string type. Now yesterday we had seen that we had to use slicing concept here. So zeroth index we have string, and from where to start. So in string indexing starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here our starting point is 4. So let me start from 4, and where till go? We have to go till I. But we can see that if we use here 5, then it will not consider the 5 in it, and it will just remain till n. So we have to give one element next to it. Like here index count stops at 5, but we have to give index count till 6, so that it can jump one next to other. So let me use 6 here, and now if I run it, we are getting our expected output, that we are getting ni as our resultant output here. So this is same slicing concept which we had seen yesterday. Now let us take another list here. So let me take our list 1 here. So this is just the name of the list, and we are taking some value there, like we are taking 1 comma 2 comma 3. Now this is an other list for us. If I run it, the value of list gets stored into ls1. Now if I want to add one list into another, so could it be possible? Let us see here, that let me add list 1 plus ls list here. So now if I run it, it executed successfully, and it has printed the list after appending it in our original list. So now our resultant list is here. Earlier our list was, so earlier if we see our list here, let me write ls. So earlier our list was this till false, but after appending this list in another, we are getting this, which is the this list one value. So we can add list into another list. It is possible in Python list function. So let me take our L1 list here, and because it contains string value, sorry, integer value. So if we want to multiply it with 3 or 4, so what do you expect, that either it will multiply 4 with every element in this list, or will it create this same copy for 4 times? So let us run it. So we can see that we are getting the same resultant copy four times for us in the list. You can see our resultant output. So it is basically converting the elements in the list, like the data inside the list, till four times. It is getting four times printed for us in the single list it is getting appended. So earlier we had seen that we are adding the list inside the list. What could we, let me just let me take my list here. So what is our original list? This is our original list. So let me add list plus 5. So I want to add this 5 inside our list and I want to get it added here. So if I run it, we are going to get an error. Cannot, can only concatenate list, not integer to a list. So it can only concatenate list into list. Like earlier we had seen here that we had used two lists to concatenate, but we cannot concatenate integer inside it. But there is an inbuilt function to add this 5 in our list. So we are going to use our list, then dot operator, and after the dot we are getting some built-in functions there. So earlier I had shown you in the string as well that after the dot operator there are a lot of functions which appear. We can use them in our uh, data types. So it is not necessary to remember all the functions there. We have to just use them according to our convenience. So we have to use this built-in function append. So append will basically append the value for us in the list ls at the end, but it will add the value at the end of the list. So if I run it, now it executed successfully, and if I call our list again here, so we are getting 5 appended in our list here. So our original list gets changed to this by appending 5 inside it. So it get appended at the end of the list. So let me again append. Let me take a string here this time. Like I am taking name here, and this is the name. I'm storing my name here. And if I run it now, if I want to add, like using plus operator, let's plus name. So if I run it, we are getting error here. Earlier we were getting the error that not integer, and this time we are getting not string. So we can only concatenate list to list. So we have to use again the append function, ls dot append, and then the name of our list or our string. So now if I run it, now it gets appended successfully, and if I again call our list here, so we are getting our string appended in the list. Now let me show you another thing. Using the append function, how can we add one list into another? So this is our original list ls. If I run it, we are getting original list. Now I want to append the other list here. So the other list was our ls1. Now if I run it, we get appended here. And now if I run list here, so you can see that our list is getting stored as it is as a list. So we can store a list inside in a list as a separate list. So earlier we had seen that we were adding the list inside the list using plus operator, but it was not appending it as a list. It was adding this whole list as removing the square brackets from the list. But this time when we appended it, then the our second list is also getting appended, but it is considered as a separate list here. So now this list has a separate index number as a whole. Earlier it was considered as it was given separate index 2 was given separate and 3 was given separate, but this time this whole will be considered as a single index. So let us see another function for the list. So our original list is printed, so we are going to use extend keyword. So now if we use the extend keyword, it says that extend list by appending elements from the iterable. So what are iterable? Iterables are those which have the indexes. Like strings have indexes, lists have indexes, tuples have indexes. So those who have indexes are you are appended in a list as using the extend function. So let if we take a string here, so now if I try to extend it, it is not getting extended because integer object is not iterable. because if we take 400 as a value integer, so this 400 will be considered as a single value. It will not be considered as like in string we have indexes 0 1 2, but it will not be considered as index. It will consider as single object, so we cannot extend it. But if I take here a string led using extend function, and inside it I am taking a string here, so like I'm string like code. Now if I run it for extend, now it executed successfully. And if I call our list here, so what we are getting output here. So in the output we are getting this code broken down as a single character. Earlier we had passed this string as a single character, like this whole was considered a single string, but it break down our string into a single character and then stored it for us. And let's see, if we take a string, or let me take a list here. So let me take a list here like 3 comma 4 comma 5 t2. Now if I run it, it executed successfully because it has indexes like this is 0 1 2. So now if we run it and we want to get expected output, so you can see that it has extended our list in our original list. So this is basically a basic how now about the extend function to get our required output here. So earlier we had seen that we were appending or extending the data at the end of our list. But if we want to insert data at a specific index, like that, if I want to, let me take our list here, first list here. So this is our first list, and I want the data before 2 or before 3. So how we can do that? So for that purpose we have another built-in function, that is insert. So insert will insert the data for us. So insert object before index, so it will insert the data before the index, like this, what is the index number of 0 1 2. So this is index number 0 1 2. So the data you want to insert, you have to insert before this index. So you have to give the index before, and like if we want to insert data before this index, we have to give the index number of this, and then we have to insert the data. So our index here was 2. So I want to tell, first we have to tell that where we have to insert our data. So we have to insert data our index second, and what data we want to insert, we want to insert 5 here. So now if I run it, it executes successfully, and if we call our list here, so we can see that our 5 get appended before this index. So it has to insert at the second index. So our index was here second, so it has to insert this data before the index. So if we come here, it will insert object before index. So this is our index number, and it will insert the data before this index. So this 5 is inserted here for us. Same we can insert, like we can insert a string here as well, or let me call insert. And now if I give here the index for us, like here I want to insert before first index, so let me take first index number here, and then I want the value here. So I am inserting my name here. Now if we run it, it executes successfully, and if we call this list, it will print the resultant output before first index. So if we count 0 1, so our at second index it counts index 1, and before 1 it will insert the data for us. So that's why it's inserted before this index. So earlier we had seen that how we can add data, but if we want to remove the data from the list, so how can we remove? So there is also built-in functions available for us. So let me call our pop function. So let me call this function here. So what will this function will do? It will remove and return item at index default last. So it will always remove the last index element for us from the list. So now if we run it, it popped the last. So it returned the
item for us also, that what item from the list it removed. Now if we see our list here, we had removed 3 earlier. Now we can see that 3 is not available. If we again run pop, then it will move to the last index, and this time the last index is 5. So now we again use this list dot pop function, and this time it will again remove the 5, because at this time 5 was the last index. And if we see our list again here, so we can see that till 5 it get removed, and we have now this one, my name, and the 2 here in the list. So we had seen that by default it removes last element. But what if we want to remove some element from a specific place, like a specific index? So how can we do that? We have to simply use the pop function, and we have to pass the index number. So by default it takes the last, but if we want to remove any item at a specific index, so we have to just pass the index number here. So I have this list available now. So in this is my zeroth index, this is my first index, and this is my second index. So I want to remove the element at the first index first, like at this is zeroth index, and this is my first and this second. So let me take one here, and if I run it, now it had popped this index value. And if we see our list here again, so it will return our list with these two items remaining. So let me take our again our list here. So uh, let me run this again. So if we run it now, our execution number changed 52, and we are getting the same list here. So let me just create a, or let me just use this list here. So we have to see another function here, dot remove. So what will this remove function will do? It will remove the value for us in the list, and we have to pass the value here. Earlier in pop we were passing the index number, but this time we have to pass the value here, and it will just remove the first time that value had appeared in our list. So it will remove that at the first occurrence. Now if we run it, it removes successfully, and we see here our list. So we can see that our list is now 1. Or let me just take our list here, and let me create a, or let me take this our list 2. And if I store here like 1 comma 2 comma 1 comma 3 comma 4 comma 45 comma 3, so this is our list. So I have taken new list, and let me use this list to better understand about remove. So ls dot remove, it will remove the first occurrence of the item inside our list. So here we can see that 1 is coming 2 times and 2 is coming 2 times. But I want to remove, it will remove only the first occurrence. So I want to remove 2 from the list. So now if I run it, it remove 2, but it will remove only the first 2 for us. It will not remove all the 2 or second. It will just remove the first occurrence for us. Now if we run it, our list here, so we can see that our first 2 got removed, which was earlier here. It got removed, and the second occurrence of 2 is already is present for us in the list, as it did not get removed using the remove function. So let us again see another function here for ns2, and dot reverse. So this reverse function will do nothing, it will just reverse our list. So now if we run it, and we see our resultant output, we can see that our list is reversed, like it's just reversed our whole list for us in the this order. Now if we, there is an other function like dot sort. So basically what it will do, we can just see from the name that it will sort the list. So earlier our output was this in the reverse order. So now if we run it, we will get the sorted list. And if we run it again and see the output, so we can see that we are getting our list in sorted order, in the ascending order. And here it just reverse, here it is sorted for us. Here it did not displayed our output in the descending order, it just reverses the string. But here it is showing us the output in the reverse, in the descending order, ascending order. So this is uh, mostly about the functions which we used around our list. So these were the main functions which we used in our day-to-day list operations. So that's it for today. Please try to practice with different functions uh, available in the list, and try different combinations and permutations to get your hands more dirty around this coding of list functions in Python. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoy the lecture. Uh, so till then, bye. Take care.